Just when you thought it was safe for your child to play video games unattended again, comes the newest, most daring, most violent, most gruesome, most child, almost friendly game known to toddlers.
Mortal Sesame Street Kombat!
That's right. You can choose from any of your beloved childhood memory characters to battle one-on-one for the most dangerous street to exist.
Far.
Near!
Far.
Get over here! One uppercut decapitation, Two uppercut decapitations, Three uppercut decapitations,
Elmo say, finish him!
Mortal Sesame Street Kombat!
Warning, exposure to violent video games has been linked to aggressive behavior. And also, exposure to puppets has been linked to faster learning and expanded creativity. Don't let minute traces of violence get in the way of your child's potential.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Above Average Joe Show. As always, I'm your host, Joe, and I am here with my special guest, Ben Bladon. Ben, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. And I was just looking at your IMDb, and
Okay.
I forgot about a lot of the stuff that you worked on. A lot of stuff that we've worked on together, too.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
some of the big names: Constantine, Atlanta Zombie Apocalypse, Walking Dead, Frankenstein Created Bikers, Dark Wastelands, Goosebumps 2, The Haunted Halloween, Hypersensitive Hitman, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. You've got some
Yes.
stuff coming up: Jacob's Ladder, Florida Girls. You've been a busy man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still just getting started, but the stuff I've done, but I've been fortunate to do some really cool stuff so far. So.
And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about specifically, because we worked on it together, you've been an actor and background actor on Your Pretty Face. I think you started out as background and worked your way up to principal, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. I started out as background, and then I spent one entire block. You know, they break the season up into two blocks, as you know.
Yeah.
And I spent one entire block doing background, and then the day after we wrapped the background, they emailed me and said, "Hey, you want to come in for one more day? We got a line for you." And so, so I said, "Okay."
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah, right. And so I said, "Okay," and went in. We did the scene. They loved it, and then after that, they started putting me on, a little bit more as a principal actor. And then this last season, I think I only did one day as background, and the rest of the days I was hired as a principal.
I remember that they kept sending us a list of who they needed each day as principal, so we could not book them as background.
Right.
So your list, you were on the list almost every single day from what I remember. I think there were a couple days that they didn't use any background, or any demons at least. So you went on those days, but
right.
For the most part, you got a lot of work out of that.
Right, yeah. So I'm pretty much, you can just go ahead and at this point say I'm a recurring character on the show.
Oh, definitely.
Which I'm very, fortunate to be and very excited about. And it's on right now. So, I mean, not right now, but it's airing currently, the new season. So.
What is it like sitting in that makeup chair? Because it looks like it's a fairly long process to get your horns on, to get painted in red, and to make sure that your clothes are still clean and not covered in red paint.
Yeah, I mean, compared to other things I've done, Pretty Face is pretty painless. I mean, it's like we get in the wardrobe and then we get into the makeup chair, and they basically put paper towels around the areas of the clothes that they think we might get makeup on. First, we get our horns on, which, we got the one guy, the Chris Brown, actually does the horns. He glues them to our head using whatever they use. Yeah, and then, and then we put them, but one guy puts on all the red. Then Shane Martin does, the guy who puts on the red is usually the Kyle Yakelin, or I think V does that sometimes. And then Shane Martin usually does the black and the detail work. And I think the whole process takes about an hour.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And that's letting everything dry and stuff. So it's not necessarily an hour straight of pure makeup. It's, hey, let's put the horns on. We have to wait for them to stick. Now we'll paint you. Wait for that to dry. Throw on some black on top of that for accents. Wait for that to dry.
Right. And plus, it's like, other stuff I've done, you just sit down in a chair with one makeup artist. But like on Pretty Face, they're pretty much doing all of us at the same time.
Like an assembly line.
Yeah. I was kind of, yeah. I mean, we sit around, they do the red, and then you sit around and wait. Somebody else may be getting details, so you sit there and wait for them to finish, and then you get in the chair, and then they do the details on you, and so on and so forth. Pretty Face has actually been on for like 3 weeks now. Yeah, they're showing 2 episodes a night. We used to show them 6 episodes at a time. Like they show 6 episodes, and then they show 6 other episodes like a couple months later. But this time, for whatever reason, it took them so long to put these episodes out that we just went ahead and showed all the episodes at once. And they're doing 2 episodes a night, so it takes about 6 weeks.
Not too bad. But I was going to say, the party hole, when I was reading through the scripts when we were working on it, was probably one of my favorite episodes.
Yes, that episode was great.
And can you explain what the party hole is, since it's already been out? Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and pause right now. But it's been out for a little while. So party hole is what, then?
the party hole is just basically another ploy by Gary.
Gary the Demon.
Gary the Demon, yes, the main character in the show. He recruits a bunch of us other demons, and we're actually referred to as, like, in the beginning of the episode, Satan says, "I want you and your whack pack out of here." So for the rest of the show, we refer to ourselves as the whack pack. And we're trying to figure out how to get souls into hell. The party hole is this hole we appear out of the ground and say, "Come on in. It'll be fun. It's a party." So like that.
You become the marketing team for hell.
Yes.
For all of the people that are on their way to heaven already.
Right. But it's fun because like a lot of us are bouncing back and forth, like in a lot of the other episodes, even when like me and William and there's another guy named Johnny Harville, even when we are the principal actors, we usually only have like one line here, one line there, and like the rest of all the main dialogue is going on by Satan, Gary, Dana, all those guys, the main actors. But in this one, we're all just bouncing back and forth. Like, we're all just acting throughout the whole episode. And it makes it for a really crazy, really fun episode.
And it's great that they give you guys the freedom and the liberties to do that a little bit, too.
We actually get to do, like, we do a bunch of takes of each scene. And, Dave Willis and Chris Kelly, 2 very great directors, they're like, they both do kind of the same thing where we'll do each take scripted. And then the very last one, they said, "Okay, now just do what you want. Go, just go crazy with it." And so we'll add in a lot of stuff and ad-lib a lot of stuff. And a lot of times that makes it into the episode. So,
and then before working on that, you also worked on The Walking Dead for a little bit.
I did.
A lot more extensive makeup on that one.
Yes. Yeah, the makeup on there takes about on the average takes about 2 hours. I've done at least one makeup because I had like a zombie that looked like my rib cage was exposed, like the skin had been torn off. And so I had this whole chest piece, and that one took about 3.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Fortunately, anything longer than 2 hours, they let you stand up for a few minutes. Well, I had to stand up to put on the chest piece, but, they'll let you take a break or something like that.
So is the chest piece also glued onto you, or is that something you just put over your body and it just sits on there? Or how do you wear the chest piece?
Oh, it's glued on.
Okay.
You stand up and like I went all day without a shirt, but that's fine because it's hot. So not having a shirt on was an added bonus actually. But, I had a bare chest and they just glued it onto my chest. But that's the kind of thing that you expect when you're, just like any job, you have certain expectations of it.
Yeah.
And when you're character actor that wears the special effects makeup, you have resigned yourself to having stuff glued to you. So, I mean, it's all just part of the job, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's totally worth it.
And how painful is it to take that stuff off? I mean, are you ripping out chest hairs as you're peeling that off?
No, not if the makeup artist knows what they're doing, no. Which every makeup artist I've worked with knows what they're doing. I've rarely ever worked with a makeup artist that has actually hurt me. And if it ever has, even if I start to wince a little bit, they'll like stop. And they take a brush with glue and they just take it off a little bit at a time. And it's a little bit of a tedious process, but I mean, it doesn't. But that's just what you got to do to make sure everything's safe.
And it comes off a lot faster than it went on.
Yeah, as a general rule, it takes about half the time to get it off as it does to put it on. So if it took about 2 hours to get it off, it's going to take about an hour to put it on. But again, that's what you signed up for. So, I mean, that's that's just a part of the job, is having to sit in that chair.
And on The Walking Dead, I know that I've seen photos, because we're friends on Facebook and stuff, of the shows that you've worked on. Where can people see you in the show that they'll be like, okay, that one's been, what episodes and like what zombies, what walkers? Sorry, I used the Z word.
Yeah.
There are no zombies
there
in
are
this
no
show.
zombies in The Walking Dead, right.
Which walkers were you?
Okay, let's see. It's a whole bunch of them. Let's see, like season 5, episode 14, I want to say, was my biggest one, where Daryl and Aaron, any Walking Dead fan will know what I'm talking about when I describe this. Daryl and Aaron are they're outside the walls of Alexandria, and they see this horse in the field, and they start chasing after it, and it shows the character Aaron chase after it, and all of a sudden he trips, and there's this walker on the ground that trips him. That was me. And like, I'm trying to grab him, and he cuts my hand off. And then Daryl comes in behind me with his boot and stomps my head in, which my head grew back just fine. So it's like, but let's see, other memorable ones. The one I was talking about with the exposed chest, that was season 6, episode 1. There was a black and white flashback scene. I ended up getting a knife in the head by Maggie. My favorite one was an episode called Say Yes, which is season 7. I think it's also episode 14. This big epic walker scene. They're at like this old rundown carnival, and the walkers have taken it over. And Michonne comes across a bunch of walkers eating a deer, and she thinks it's Rick. Spoiler alert. But I'm sure everybody's seen that by now. It's 2 episodes, behind. Yeah. I mean, 2 seasons.
We're in season 9 now.
Yes. So. That was season 7, but she thinks we're eating Rick, and she drops her sword, and there's 2 walkers that look up at her and get up and start walking towards her, and she ends up cutting her heads off. But yes, a guy and a girl, and I was the guy in that one. So
sounds
that was
like
my
fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's
It also seems like a lot of hard work too, being out in that field, having to crawl around and having horses run by you, and the possibility, I would assume, of like snakes and other things that are crawling in the field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have people there that like go through and make sure there aren't any snakes or anything dangerous that's gonna, hurt you or anything. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen like, stuff happens on set, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody who suddenly got bit by a snake or something when we were laying in the field, That one I was talking about where I was laying on the ground, I had to lay in for a while because I had this big stuffed elk or something, like some kind of animal that I was supposed to be eating. And I guess the story would be I was trying to eat it, and it had fallen on top of me, and that's why I was trapped there, laying on the ground. But I was laying there for a while, but then they had like the horse actually run through the field, so they took me out, and they had a dummy that they had for the head smash grab. So they took me out and put the dummy in, and then they put me back in for the close-ups. Yeah. Just to make sure I didn't get trampled by the horse. But like before they let the horse out, I was actually laying there for a while. Yeah, I think I played about 14 different walkers. Those are just more of the memorable ones.
And you've also got a new project coming up, Florida Girls, where you're not wearing makeup.
Oh, right.
People can actually see your face.
Right. Florida Girls is a project I just started working on last year. And I can't go into too much detail about it because it hadn't come out yet. But, I mean, I can tell you, like, I just play, like, it's about these 4 girls in this little kind of podunk town in Florida who are trying to, figure out how to make something of themselves. I play, like, this kind of redneck dude that frequents a bar that's featured heavily in the show. But I mean, as of yet, I'm only like I'm like recurring in 3 episodes. You know, the bar scenes. I mean, I only did a couple scenes in the bar, and like there's a couple of other scenes that I do. Like there's some scenes I do at my house where the girls come to my house, and there's some funny scenes there. But it's basically a comedy. I play a little redneck guy. I think that's pretty much safe to say. I talk like this the whole time. You know, it's like that's my character voice on the show. Is I'm in the Southern accent, yeah. Because I can do a Southern accent because I was born in Florence, South Carolina. I live in Georgia now, but you know. Anyway,
you got your root. You know where you came from.
Yeah, exactly. I can turn it on just like this. But anyway, yeah. So it should be a fun show, and if you're into comedies like that, I always say, like, people ask me what they think it's going to be like, and I've been using the show like My Name is Earl.
Oh yeah,
as a reference. Because I get the feeling, I don't know for a fact because I'm not, I haven't seen all the finished episodes, but based on what I've seen, I'm getting the sense it's going to be kind of in that vein of humor. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll probably love it. The episodes the scenes that I've been privy to be a part of were funny as hell. So anyway, that comes out on the Pop Network. It's a cable network. You can look it up. You don't actually see me till episode 6, so it'll be sometime in August. But these are like great girls.
We'll watch the whole series anyways.
Watch the series anyway, right? Like, because it's gonna be a funny show, and these are great girls. I think like one of the girls, Melanie Fields, she was actually in the reboot of Heathers. It's got some pretty, these girls are like great actresses, and I love them to death. And so definitely just watch the show from the beginning because it's gonna be great. So
let's go ahead and wrap all of this up. And thank you, Ben, for hanging out. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. And before we go ahead and sign up completely, do you have any social media where people can find you or follow you or hear you tweet? Or
yeah, absolutely. My Facebook page is facebook.com/HeroZombieBen. Called it Hero Zombie Ben because I made it when I was starting The Walking Dead. My Instagram is The Amazing Ben Bladon, all in one word. And then Twitter doesn't allow you that many characters, so Twitter is just at The Amazing Ben B.
So everybody that's listening, go ahead, check those out. Go ahead, follow Ben, and we will be back next week with another episode. Thanks again, Ben, and thank you all you listeners.
Okay, thanks a lot, Joe.
Thank you again to our special guest, Ben Bladon. Special shout out thanks to Julie Kitsulie for providing the voice of Elmo in the commercial before the show. Be sure to check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitters, and look for us on Spotify, Stitcher, and iTunes. You can also check out another podcast I co-host, The Extra Unordinary, and some other great media content by Moon Possum Productions at moonpossum.com.
Was that good enough for you? Was that good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.